In the last video, we left off at the cosmic beatdown known as the Titanomachy, where Zeus and his siblings laid the smackdown on the older Titans. Result? The old Titans were tossed into Tartarus, and Zeus with his siblings claimed cosmic dominion. Basically, this Earth belongs to yours truly. Afterward, they drew lots to decide who got what. Zeus, with his impeccable luck, snagged the sky and took up residence on Mount Olympus. Poseidon drew the ocean, taking over from the aging sea god Pontus, while Hades, thanks to his trusty invisibility helmet, took command of the underworld, replacing Tartarus himself. Now, about that helmet, I recently found out it doesn't just make you invisible, it also lets you phase through solid objects. Perfect for Hades, the god of death himself. After all, death seeps into every corner of existence, seen or unseen, unstoppable. But today's video isn't about death. We're talking about life, or rather someone obsessed with creating it, Zeus. Back in the day, Zeus had more lovers than a Greek philosopher had theories. If a lot was a measurement, then a lot describes Zeus's love interests. But hey, it's a wild world. If Snow White can be black, why can't Zeus have a harem? Crack open any Greek myth, and 90% of the time, it starts like this. On a fine day, Zeus felt frisky. The Greeks knew that Jupiter is 1,000 times bigger than Earth. The Sun is 1,000 times bigger than Jupiter, when the largest star is 5 billion times the Sun's size. But nothing matched Zeus's desire whenever he saw a pretty face. Beyond his two notable battles, the Titanomachy and Gigantomachy, Zeus spent most of his time lurking, abducting, and making village girls pregnant. Hera would catch him, curse the poor girl, and her child would go on to greatness while Zeus moved on to his next target, leaving his family in the crossfire. Oddly enough, the Greeks didn't see Zeus's lechery as problematic. As the great father of all things, it was his divine duty to spread his seed far and wide, even to cows now and then. Without Zeus's wanderlust, the world wouldn't thrive. His amorous escapades reflected ancient Greek values. They lived to conquer and take what they wanted, whether it was land, resources, or particularly women. Zeus's conquests weren't limited to Greece either. Take Europa, whose name became that of a whole continent, or Io, who became the mother of Egypt's first king. This was Greece's way of saying, hey, we're the origin of everything. In all, Zeus had 5 official wives, though sources vary. Behind every successful man is a goddess of wisdom, right? His first wife, Metis, was indeed that, a wisdom goddess, daughter of Oceanus. Back when young Zeus was still fumbling around for a way to bring down Kronos, Metis gave him the blueprint to take down his old man. The two married, and soon enough, Metis was pregnant. But Zeus heard a prophecy. If Metis had a son, that son would overthrow him. Panicked, Zeus took the Kronos route, but more efficiently. Instead of waiting for his son's birth, he swallowed Metis whole. With Metis inside him, he gained unmatched wisdom because, to the Greeks, brains were in the stomach, not the head. One day, Zeus was hit with a blinding headache. The agony was unbearable, so he summoned his son Hephaestus, the blacksmith god, who hammered Zeus's head open. Out sprang Athena, goddess of war and wisdom, fully armored and ready for battle. She'd go on to play a major role in Greek mythology. Another god birthed from Zeus's body was Dionysus, the god of wine and revelry. Dionysus was born from Zeus and Princess Semele of Thebes. Hera, in a jealous rage, disguised herself as a midwife and convinced Semele that Zeus didn't love her since he never revealed his divine form. So Zeus, bound by his Styx-sworn oath, appeared to her as he did to Hera, incinerating Semele in the process. Zeus managed to save the unborn Dionysus by stitching him into his thigh, from which he was born when the time came. Wife number 2 was Themis, the titaness of justice and order. She's the one with the scales and blindfold, symbolizing impartiality. Themis was Zeus's right hand, offering wise counsel until, inevitably, Zeus's passions led him astray. Over time, he grew less interested in justice and more focused on indulgence. Indulgence brought Zeus to his third wife, Demeter, goddess of the harvest, and also his sister. But hey, it's Zeus. Demeter was initially resistant, but Zeus transformed into a bull and took what he wanted. This union produced Persephone, the radiant goddess of spring, so alluring that even Hades couldn't resist abducting her. Demeter waged a fierce battle with Hades, ultimately agreeing that Persephone would split her time between the underworld and the surface. Her time above brought warmth and bounty, while her time below caused Demeter's sorrow, ushering in the barren months of winter. Next came a one-night stand with Mnemosyne, the titaness of memory. Their brief encounter produced the 9 muses. In English, muse refers to inspiration. Lastly, Zeus's final wife, and arguably his most complicated relationship, was with Hera, the goddess of women, family, and childbirth. Hera was kind, proper, and loyal until she married Zeus. Her role was to protect familial happiness, yet her own family was in shambles thanks to Zeus. Hera, Zeus's sister, was initially unmoved by his advances, but Zeus knew she loved animals, so he turned into an injured bird to gain her sympathy. Once in her arms, he reverted to his true form and forced her to marry him. This union produced 4 children, most notably Ares, the war god. Ares, like his father, was violent, indiscriminate, and constantly spoiling for a fight. This toxic marriage left Hera bitter, and she punished Zeus's lovers and their offspring mercilessly, except Europa, the one woman Zeus approached disguised as a beautiful, fragrant bull. Europa couldn't resist the bull, hopped on its back, and Zeus carried her across the sea to Crete, where he revealed himself and made her a mother. Europa's children all became kings, and the bull was immortalized as the Taurus constellation. Her name was later given to an entire continent, Europe. This marks the end of today's story because, honestly, I'm out of steam. Next time, we'll dive into another one of Zeus's love affairs, one that would produce Greece's greatest hero, Hercules.